essentially, the way the payment cycle in pharmacy works is that a patient will either walk in with a prescription or it will be issued to the pharmacy electronically. They will dispense that medication to the patient. At that point, it creates a liability due from the NHS to the pharmacy. Invariably, it will take the NHS 2 months to fund that prescription, and effectively the pharmacy is having to bridge that working capital requirement in the meantime. What RxBridge do, by analysing their trading pattern, are able to assess effectively what that debt in the pharmacy business is at any point in time, and are able to advance that cash to the business so they can use it in the business, as I say, acquiring medication, going towards operating expenses, or indeed to fund the growth in that business, where the payment coming in from the NHS is lagging behind the business's growth. So people use our facility quite simply because it provides the largest quantum available in the marketplace, and it's also the most flexible. There are some sort of schemes available through the NHS, but both the timing and the amount aren't necessarily going to meet the requirements of a pharmacy business. What we have developed is specifically, for the sector. So, we're able to understand their trading patterns and effectively arrive at a quantum that will meet their working capital needs. In particular, in the context of the current pandemic, it's about having access to that funding both quickly and reliably. And what we're seeing with the CBILS scheme presently, and indeed with the additional funding that's been made available for pharmacies, is that it's, there is a time lag, and it doesn't necessarily meet that requirement at that time. So the biggest benefit of the facility is the flexibility that it provides. The quantum, as I say, is the largest in the market, but it is the ability for the pharmacies to access that fund and the funds to use in their businesses as and when they need to. So it is a pool of capital available to a business to deploy how they see fit. It's not necessarily going towards a specific purchase. We don't control how it's distributed. That is absolutely up to the pharmacy owner themselves to see how they can best deploy their capital to put it to best use in their business, ultimately to make the best return, but also to provide the best care to their customers and their patients that is absolutely paramount in their business. So for any growing business, there will be a heavy working capital requirement in order to fund that growth, particularly in pharmacy, where the payments from your largest customer, the NHS, are lagging a few months behind that growth. So having the flexibility and the agility to be able to deploy this capital in a way that grows your business quicker and enables you to take advantage of opportunities that might present themselves is a fantastic tool for any business, any finance director to have in their toolkit. So RxBridge have a very deep knowledge of how pharmacy businesses operate. Between our management team, we've been funding pharmacy businesses for over 35 years. What that provides our pharmacies is real sort of knowledge and understanding of what the key performance indicators are, how their business is performing relative to other businesses that we're funding, and indeed knowledge and support on how their business is performing and what the landscape in pharmacy looks like moving forward. So we're able to provide that level of knowledge and understanding of their business in the context of the market. So if you're looking to take up an RxBridge facility, then naturally we'll need to see some business information. So your last 6 months NHS statements, your last 3 months bank statements, and your last 2 years annual accounts, as would be expected for any finance facility that you're looking to obtain. On receipt of that, we can advise some indicative terms for a pharmacy business's consideration. And if they're agreeable, then we commence the onboarding process accordingly. So our onboarding process is quite short. On receipt of the information, then we could implement a facility in as little as a week. Then quite simply, once it has been activated for a pharmacy business, then you'll get a login to a specific portal, and you can simply go in there and request the drawdown into your bank account up to the agreed facility limit, and that will be paid the same day that the request is made. So the facility from start to finish can be a very short process, and once it is implemented, access to the